Hello students, welcome to our session number 11. The topic is R.K. Narayan's The Roman Image, which is prescribed for third semester BSc. So here in this session, we are going to see the characters and plot analysis majorly. Okay, so characters involved in this story are mainly the talkative man, the archaeologist, the villager, and the drunkard priest. Okay, so the narrator is also the talkative man, and talkative man is the narrator of the story. He worked as an archaeologist assistant, and he is very much interested in exploring, probing the antiquities. And on the spot, the archaeologist appoints him as his assistant. And the next character, the next important character is the archaeologist. Um, Archaeologist's name is not mentioned, and the talkative man's name is also not mentioned. He is just addressed as talkative man, whereas the archaeologist is addressed as the doctor, who is a superb and timeless being. Okay, and he is portrayed as a superb and timeless being, and he is so popular. He is dug almost all parts of India, in all corners of India. He has explored and excavated the earth. Okay, and that is the fame and name of the archaeologist. And the next main character is the villager. The villager is a rustic man, native man, and he is the one who narrates the story of drunkard priest to our talkative man. When the talkative man went to Siral village after bathing in the river Sarayu, so he was sitting on the river step, dripping the water from his body. There he meets this rustic villager, and casual talks, casual conversation goes on between them. And the villager, when the talkative man tells him that the image has been found out here, discovered from this river, and it has been proved and it has been declared as the image, a statue of Tiberius II from the from the Roman history. Then the villager discloses to the talkative man that the image is not of any Roman emperor. And actually, as a matter of fact, the image belongs to the local shrine, Marikamba shrine. Okay, it is one of the Dwarapalakas. In the shrine, and he informs that truth. And he also narrates the story of the drunkard priest, who is the worshipper of Marikamba in the same temple. And next character is the drunkard priest. Okay, he doesn't actually appear in the story. He is just mentioned by the villager. Okay, he comes in the story of the villager, and he is the one who throws the image into the river. Okay, and he is an alcoholic, and addicted to alcoholism, and he drinks alcohol. He consumes alcohol every day and comes for worshipping. And villagers, they come together and sue him in the court of Malgudi, because after many warnings, the drunkard priest doesn't listen to the villagers, and he comes drinking. He comes under hallucination. Okay, and tipsy to the shrine, and he worships. Okay, so, and it is almost against to the rules of the shrine of the religion. That is why. And under hallucination, he damages the Dwarapalakas, and he comes under the impression that in delirium he feels that Dwarapalakas will come and kick him, beat him. Okay, and when after some time he goes to the shrine with the hammer, with the weapons in his hand, because he has to fight back with the Dwarapalakas. That kind of hallucination he undergoes, and finally he mutilates the Dwarapalaka statue, and he takes it out from the pedestal and throws it into the river Sarayu. Next point here in this session is our plot analysis. Okay, so the Roman image has a plot analysis in this way. In the exposition, we see the character setting and the conflict, and the next is rising action. In rising action, events increase, even we see the events increasing and the major conflict. And next thing is climax. In the climax, high point in conflict we see. Next is falling action. These are the events after climax. And the resolution, life afterwards. Okay, at the end of the story, what happens, what happens in future, that is resolution. So plot in plot analysis, students remember: exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. Okay. um, Nextly, we will see all these points in detail. So in exposition, what happens actually in the story, the Roman image? So in the under exposition, the archaeologist, the famous doctor, comes to Malgudi. He visits Malgudi. He wants to excavate Malgudi's antiquities, and he visits the district. And our narrator, talkative man, feels so happy that the famous archaeologist is visiting the place. And of course, since the talkative man is interested in probing and excavating, the archaeologist comes directly and meets our talkative man, and he interviews the talkative man about archaeological factors of Malgudi. So he asks him a question: what do you know? Tell me about the archaeological factors of Malgudi district. So talkative man would just go blank, because he has not have much. He doesn't have much experience in excavation, but he is very much interested so far. And after he wants to do it under the archaeologist. And so he asks him, the archaeologist asks him why he couldn't have collected the antiques in one place. Actually, the talkative man before this tells the archaeologist that I mean, natives of Malgudi, while tilling the land, they get some earthen pieces, and they get some broken metals. Okay, all those things. And the archaeologist asks him back, what do your people do with those things? And the talkative man says that they just throw them sometimes, or else they just give them to their children to play with. Okay, so after listening to all this, the archaeologist feels so disappointed, and anyway he doesn't show that disappointment. He just says, why he just asks the talkative man, why couldn't you collect those materials, those broken things, those antiques in one place? Okay, and the talkative man feels so sad about it, and he feels so, what to say, he feels lost actually, why I couldn't do this. He feels that kind of contrition. And he assures the archaeologist that here onwards I won't, what to say, become careless about the antiquities, and I'll take so much of care, and I will, what to say, relent much regarding the antiquities. Okay, talkative man then and thereafter decides to take care of the antiquities in Malgudi, and that we see in reality in the story. Talkative man on the spot is engaged as the archaeologist assistant to the doctor and the archaeologist both are same. And on the spot he was appointed. He on the spot he is appointed as as an assistant to the doctor. And what is the salary? 50 rupees, 50 rupees per month. Okay, for 50 rupees per month, he is appointed as the assistant of the doctor. Now, after that, both of them pursue in exploring. Okay, they start working hard. Next, after exposition, we see conflict. Okay, conflict within a month under conflict, the talkative man was leading the doctor by the hand. Okay, the talkative man was leading the doctor by the hand within few months. That means he knows the area very well. He is the native of the place, and of course his interest is too much deep, deeply interested in the in the field, and both of them add together, get added together, and he starts leading the doctor, and even the slightest object never escaped from his eyes, and he picked everything he saw, he cleaned it and put for the doctor's observation, doctor's opinion. Okay, such kind of earnestness he shows, such kind of earnestness he shows in his work. The conflict of the story is actually opportunity against ambition, opportunity versus ambition. That is the conflict. Okay, so opportunity, the talkative man gets, and the archaeologist also gets. Okay, and so he is very much interested in excavating, in exploring, and he got the same position, he got the great opportunity, and ambition also. He archaeologist ambition is to excel Mohenjo-daro, the excavators of Mohenjo-daro, the great civilization. So that is his ambition, and the conflict here is between opportunity and ambition, opportunity versus ambition. Sometimes his search goes useless, but he scored a hit in assisting the doctor. Okay, so it takes longer time to search the antiquities. Sometimes it becomes useless, whole day they would have been searching and they won't get anything by the evening. Like that, it becomes useless some days, but he scored a hit in assisting the doctor. Next, after the conflict, rising action, we are saying. So in rising action, what do we see in the story? They camp at Siral village. Okay, so in on one weekend they are going to camp in Siral village. Okay, the talkative man, the archaeologist, and the whole team are going to camp in Siral village on one weekend. So Siral village is 60 miles away from Malgudi, and the river Sarayu is flowing. Siral village is on the bank of river Sarayu. Here, the Sarayu river is broader actually compared to Malgudi. In Siral village, near Siral village, the river is broader. It flows broader, and both of them occupied the two-roomed lodge, only two-roomed lodge. It was the only modern lodging available in that village. Okay, because in South Indian villages, um, modern buildings are quite rare. So the only modern building was there, and it was just two roomed, right? And so both the doctor and the talkative man occupy the modern building, and so both of them occupy one room. And the discovery, this discovery is going to be the rival to Mohenjo-daro, of course. Okay, so this discovery is going to be a milestone in the life of um, the archaeologist as well as the talkative man. And the doctor's greatest desire is to have a monopoly of earliest known civilization. Earliest known civilization is Mohenjo-daro civilization. And this archaeologist ambition is to have a monopoly of the earliest civilization, and it is his ambition, it is his desire to excel Mohenjo-daro civilization. Let us see what happens next. And next point is events increasing conflict. Okay, the conflict is going on increasing, and those events will go on adding to this conflict. And those events are as follows. One exhilarating evening It was a beautiful, awesome evening, pleasant evening. And in that exhilarating evening, the talkative man goes to bathe in the river Sarayu. Okay, he had helped the doctor the whole day because a glass piece which was so important was discovered by the talkative man, and he had given that glass piece for the study to the archaeologist. And whole day he had worked for it, and it was a piece of stained glass. And in the evening, after searching that glass piece which was so important, he went to take bath in the river Sarayu. Doctor, after looking at the glass piece, stained glass piece, he started trembling because he trembled with excitement. Why? Because the piece was Florentian. Okay, the glass piece was Florentian, which belonged to 5 AD. 5 AD, very ancient one. Okay, the glass piece was Florentian, and it belonged to 5 AD. And if the identity of this glass piece is proved true, they can say about the Roman Empire and the South India. They can establish a link between Roman Empire and the South India. So that is why doctor trembled with excitement after seeing the glass piece. So he was so happy, and the talkative man also worked well because he discovered that Florentian glass piece which belonged to 5 AD. So that is why it was so beautiful evening, and he also felt so happy, and he went to take bath in the river Sarayu. Then what happens? They what to say? They should not overlook the slightest evidence. Okay. Thereafter, both of them, talkative man and the archaeologist, have to work so hard. They should not overlook even a single piece, right? So the work is taking its momentum. That is events increasing the conflict. Next, after this, after the conflict, in the plot analysis, we see climax. Okay, in the climax, what happens? While bathing in the river Sarayu, the talkative man, our narrator, comes up with the with an image. Okay, and he took a dive into the river, and suddenly his fingers touched a hard surface. What was that? Okay, he was so interested, and it was so intriguing, and he finally came to the surface of the water with the image in his hand. So the water is dripping from his body, and the image is there in his hand. The doctor, then the image is being submitted to the doctor. Finally, doctor, after observing the image, after observing the statue till 3 o'clock in the morning, the whole night he observes the statue, and the result is the doctor proclaims that the image belongs to the Roman Emperor Tiberius II. It is very important image. It is very important statue, and it belongs to the Roman Emperor Tiberius II. It is the statue of. It is the image of Tiberius II. So that is the climax. After climax, what do we see? Falling action. Okay. In the falling action, what happens in the story? The discovery is going to give a new turn to Indian history. Of course, if the relationship is established, if the link between South India and the Roman Emperor has been established, is proved as true, it is going to be a twisting point, a turning point, a milestone in the discovery. And within 2 months, uh, in the process, within 2 months, papers, periodicals started interviewing the doctor and the talkative man, and they started publishing about the details of the discovery. Okay, still it is not proved, but the papers, periodicals, magazines started publishing about the discovery, and all were so excited. Excitement is going on, anxiety is still going on, and in this situation, what happens? Yeah, along with the papers and periodicals publishing, university honors and lucrative positions also came on their way. especially came on the talkative man's way, right? So he university offered honors to the archaeologist, and lucrative positions, financially sound posts and positions came on the way of our narrator, the talkative man. Then next few months, they toured a great deal lecturing on the subject. So they toured all over India, all over the country, lecturing about the discovery. Okay. So both of them started visiting the places, visiting the universities, visiting the seminars, symposiums, conferences. They started lecturing about the discovery, about the subject. Then talkative man is working on a monograph. Okay, monograph has to be prepared, and the talkative man started working on this monograph. And uh, so they need a place for to work for this monograph. And what did they do? They went to Madras library. Okay, there is a library in Madras, and in that library he goes and sits, starts working on this monograph. A doctor, on some work, some previous work was pending, and he had to continue that work in north part of India. So that is why a doctor hands over the responsibility, whole responsibility of this monograph to the talkative man, and he goes to north upper India, means north part of India. So then the whole responsibility is on the shoulders of the talkative man. He is busily working day and night. He is working in the library in Madras on that monograph. Then what happens? The next point, after the following action, resolution. Okay, in resolution, what happens? The talkative man finishes his monograph, and happily he calls and informs the doctor that he is finished the monograph. Doctor feels so happy, and he tells him to take vacation, enjoy in some hill stations, go to some hill stations, take leave and enjoy. But talkative man doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants to visit Siral village again, because his interest is that much, and he wants to see the place again, because such a great opportunity the place has given, the discovery has given to him. That is why he wants to see it again. He wants to collect more information regarding the discovery. That is why he visits again Siral village. Then what happens? So here the resolution takes place, and again same river bank, Sarayu, and again in the evening he goes to take bath in the Sarayu river. While taking bath, he comes out dripping the water. He sits on the river step, and dripping the water from his body. There he meets a villager. A native man comes and meets him. Casually the talks will go on, conversation will begin, and a casual talk will begin. Then out of the conversation we will come to know that the the image doesn't belong to the Roman emperor, but it belongs to the local shrine, Marikamba shrine of Siral village. This rustic, the villager, rustic means the villager, tells that the image is not of the Roman emperor, but it is of one of the Dwarapalakas of Marikamba shrine in the village. And he narrates, the talkative man, how the drunkard priest threw it into the river. When the narrator informs the same to the doctor, he tells him to destroy the whole image. Okay, so the villager tells the story how the drunkard priest used to consume. He used to consume alcohol every day, and he used to come for worshipping. And the villagers went against him. They sue in the Malgudi court, and yeah, even after warnings, even after giving so many warnings to the drunkard priest, he continued taking alcohol. And finally he comes under hallucination. In delirium he feels that Dwarapalakas will come and attack him. Okay, they come and kick him, they come and beat him. So after some days he used to go to the shrine with the hammer, with the weapons, to fight back. Okay, so finally what did he do? He mutilated the statue of Dwarapalaka, and he took it out from the pedestal and threw it into the river. After that, the drunkard priest is expelled from the village, and Then the reality is the image. Okay, the main point is image. Image doesn't belong to the Roman emperor, but it belongs to the Marikamba shrine. And all this story will be narrated by the villager to the talkative man on the river step of Sarayu. Uh, so same thing will be told to the archaeologist by the talkative man. Honestly, he tells to the archaeologist about the story, and the archaeologist feeling so frustrated about the loss of the discovery. Hard work, how much hard work they did. Now it is of nothing. Okay, it is become in vain. And so without going for second thought, the archaeologist just instructs the talkative man to destroy the image, to throw it into the fire, he says. So, with this, what do we understand, students? The mistakes can happen. Okay, the mistakes that can make anything futile or unavoidable. So, even such a great man, the archaeologist is, right? And even for such a great man, the mistakes are unavoidable. Okay, you cannot control them, you cannot avoid them. And even great man like archaeologist can do mistakes. He is bound to do mistake. It is unavoidable. So this is seen in resolution. So we have come to the end of this session number 11, and let me sum it up. So in this session we saw plot analysis. Under plot analysis, exposition, conflict, rising action, events increasing the conflict, and climax, falling action, resolution. Okay, so under exposition, the archaeologists meet uh, uh, with the narrator, the talkative man, and he engages him to assist archaeological factors of Malgudi. Under conflict, second point, the talkative man leads the doctor through their search. Though their archaeology, the talkative man leads the doctor within few months, within few days, and though the search goes useless, he scored a hit in assisting the doctor. Next, rising action. In rising action, the talkative man, while bathing in the river Sarayu, he comes out with an image in his hand, and that image is going to be proclaimed by the doctor as of the Roman Emperor Tiberius II. Next point, events increasing conflict. Under events increasing conflict, the doctor leaves the responsibility, whole and sole responsibility, to the narrator who works in the library in Madras, writing a large monograph. And the papers and periodicals in the world, throughout the world, not only in India, throughout the world, papers and magazines publish about the discovery. Under climax, next point is climax. Under climax, the narrator goes to Siral village again. He meets a villager there who tells him the image is of Dwarapalaka of Mari shrine in the village. It is not of the Roman emperor. That is the climax. Next, after the climax, falling action. The drunkard priest in hallucination threw the image into the river. That is the falling action. Then the talkative man informs the same to the doctor, and who in turn advises the talkative man to destroy the monograph as well as the image. Next, last point, last but not least, resolution. Under resolution, talkative man throws the image into the sea. Okay, so the archaeologist tells him, destroy the image, throw it into the fire, throw the monograph into the fire. But our talkative man throws the image into the sea, not into the river. Remember, into the sea. So, what is the point in this? What is the point in throwing the image into the sea? He throws the image into the sea because, again, no other excavators should get it. Okay, it should not be accessible to any other achievers, to any other excavators, and it should not lead to any other misunderstanding, further misunderstanding. Okay, so that is the intention, hidden intention of the narrator. So with this, we have come to the end of session 11. Thank you all for listening. I'm going to end the video.